Right, we're now going to show you the parts that you'll need to make colloidal silver gel. And we've got a piping bag you can get from any supermarket or Asian import, $2 shop, whatever. We've got a spoon to get the gel out, to put it in the piping bag. We've got a bar mix or a blender to blend up the gel in the water, colloidal silver water. We've got colloidal silver water we've already made, and we've got the mineral thickener that will harden up the gel to make it into a gel. And I recommend Pura water. You can get it at any supermarket, Coles, Woolies. It's the best to use for making colloidal silver, and we've got 60-gram jars that we're going to put the gel into, and the lids to go with them. So first of all, what we want to do is pour in colloidal silver water, and this is roughly 40 parts per million. And in the kit you'll have the exact amount of thickener you need to use to make gel. So what we do is get your bar mix, put it in, and then slowly feed in the gel, the thickener. Sometimes not very good. Basically what you want to do is just run it to every little lump is out of it. And that's about it. Alright. The next step, once we've mixed the thickener with the colloidal silver water, is to put it in the piping bag. So basically, use a spoon. The gel is now thickened up. It's taken probably 5 or 6 minutes, and just gently pour it in. And you want to fill it as much as you can without it overflowing and without it going everywhere. That's getting close to the top now. And once that's full, you just close up the top, squeeze it together, and then we move across now to the jars. So the point of the exercise is to move the end of this bag around and around to eliminate all air bubbles, and you just keep squeezing very slowly until you fill the jar up, and then you move on to the next one. Just move them around and around until you fill every part of that jar so there's no air bubbles. Fill it to the top, and you just keep going until you've done all the jars. And it's that easy. And don't worry if you overfill, because we can get rid of the excess later before we put the lid on. And if you don't have a piping bag, you can always use a spoon or something like that, but this is the quickest way to do it. Now we'll fill the bag up again, and you just keep going till all the jars are filled. It gets a bit messy, but that's not a problem. Just hold the end so it doesn't squirt out, and again just fill the jars up. with a circular motion. This is a jar we had last filled, half filled, and we'll just finish that one off. And just, you don't want to leave the gel too long before you do this piping bag, because it hardens up too much and it's very hard to get out of the bag. So you wait 5 or 6 minutes, maybe a bit more, and then pipe it out into the jars. And you keep going till all the jars are filled. You don't want to stop and carry on the next day or a few hours later. You want to do the whole lot in one hit. So that's basically all there is to filling the jars up. Right, now for the last step, we are going to put the lids on the jars, and just in case the jars are overfilled, if you follow me over here, I'm going to just take the excess off the top, and I'm using a paddle pop stick, and just run it across the top of the jar. And that basically just goes back into the bowl. We get a lid, and you just screw the lid on. And there you have a perfect jar of Clor de Silva gel. And you do the same with all of them, just to make sure that they don't have excess in them, because if you do, it'll squirt out the sides of the jar and it'll make a mess. And that's basically all there is to making Clor de Silva gel. Non-toxic, not tested on animals, perfect for external use, burns, cuts, infections. So there you go, that's how you make Clor de Silva gel. Thank you.